he gave the eggs to the giant. "Yes, yes," says the giant, "be making ready for your marriage." Then, indeed, there was a wedding. And it was a wedding, giants and gentlemen, and the son of the king of the green city was in the midst of them. They were married, and the dancing began. That was a dance. The giant's house was shaking from top to bottom. But bedtime came, and the giant said, "It is time for thee to go to rest, son of the king of t'other town. Choose thy bride to take with thee from the midst of those." She put out the hand off which the little finger was, and he caught her by the hand. "Thou hast aimed well this time too, for there is no knowing but we may meet thee another way," said the giant. But to rest they went. "Now," says she, "sleep not, or else you are a dead man. We must fly quick, quick, or for certain my father will kill you." Out they went, and on the blue-gray filly in the stable they mounted. "Stop a while," says she, "and I will play a trick to the old hero." She jumped in, and cut an apple into 9 shares, and she put 2 shares at the head of the bed, and 2 shares at the foot of the bed, and 2 shares at the door of the kitchen, and 2 shares at the big door, and 1 outside the house. The giant awoke and called, "Are you asleep?" "Not yet," said the apple that was at the head of the bed. At the end of a while he called again. "Not yet," said the apple that was at the foot of the bed. A while after this he called again, "Are you asleep?" "Not yet," said the apple at the kitchen door. The giant called again. The apple that was at the big door answered, "You are now going far from me," says the giant. "Not yet," says the apple that was outside the house. "You are flying," says the giant. The giant jumped on his feet, and to the bed he went, but it was cold, empty. "My own daughter's tricks are trying me," said the giant. "Here's after them," says he. At the mouth of day, the giant's daughter said that her father's breath was burning her back. "Put your hand, quick," said she, "in the ear of the gray filly, and whatever you find in it, throw it behind us." "There is a twig of sloe tree," said he. "Throw it behind us," said she. No sooner did he that, than there were 20 miles of blackthorn wood, so thick that scarce a weasel could go through it. The giant came headlong, and there he is fleecing his head and neck in the thorns. "My own daughter's tricks are here as before," said the giant, "but if I had my own big axe and wood knife here, I would not be long making a way through this." He went home for the big axe and the wood knife, and sure he was not long on his journey, and he was the boy behind the big axe. He was not long making the way through the blackthorn. "I will leave the axe and the wood knife here till I return," says he. "If you leave him, said a hoodie that was in a tree. "We'll steal him, if you will do that," says the giant. "I must take them home." He returned home and left them at the house. At the heat of day the giant's daughter felt her father's breath burning her back. "Put your finger in the filly's ear, and throw behind her whatever you find in it." He got a splinter of gray stone, and in a twinkling there were 20 miles, by breadth and height, of gray rock behind them. The giant came full belt, but past the rock he could not go. "The tricks of my own daughter are the hardest things that ever met me," says the giant, "but if I had my lever and my mighty mattock, I would not be long in making my way through this rock also." There was no help for it, but to turn the chase for them, and he was the boy to split the stones. He was not long in making a road through the rock. "I will leave the tools here, and I will return no more." "If you leave him, says the hoodie. "We will steal him, do that if you will. There is no time to go back." At the time of breaking the watch, the giant's daughter said that she felt her father's breath burning her back. "Look in the filly's ear, king's son, or else we are lost." He did so, and it was a bladder of water that was in her ear this time. He threw it behind him and there was a fresh water lock, 20 miles in length and breadth, behind him. The giant came on, but with the speed he had on him, he was in the middle of the lock, and he went under, and he rose no more. On the